got involved in sport through my father. He first introduced me to rugby. And when my father introduced me to sport, I really had no idea what sport was, but that was initially how I got involved. So I've done many different sports, but the main sports I've competed in are basketball, rugby, CrossFit, and also football. So yeah, I've been involved in lots of different sports. So I've competed in all three levels, basketball and athletics through the pathway, and I represented GB internationally. So sport has been involved in my life throughout my whole childhood. Without sport, I really don't know where I would be. I know I've done lots of different sports, but the sport has taught me how to manage situations, how to deal with loss, how to deal with highs as well. And that's really transferable skills into work, my personal life, and also it's given me lots of friends. So that's how sport has impacted on my life. So there was lots of adaptations that were put into place through training and competition. But the main points would be to make sure that the club had deaf awareness training so that I could fit in. I'd made sure they had one-to-ones before training sessions and again after training sessions to help them understand and help the person understand what was required during and after the training. So for positive inclusiveness for athletes, I would say there needs to be like a mentoring system and a team group for training so that they can all help each other and work together as a team, give advice and tips with each other. But also for coaches, for example, if the coach is so far away on the field and they're having to use a whistle, then perhaps using hand gestures instead, or having a buddy system that knows that they're responsible for tapping the deaf person on the shoulder so that they know that it's time to start running and they also feel connected and part of the team and therefore not feeling left out. Yes, absolutely. There's lots of different things that people could do, but one main thing I would suggest is that young people have different times of developmentation. So I think a good tip would be to have a communication passport that the young people could have. So an example of that would be what the communication needs are for each individual, whether they require an interpreter, whether they need lights, whether they need one-to-ones, and that could be passed to their new coach as they develop and go up the levels, and it's specifically linked to that deaf person and their communication needs. So through inclusive resources, they can be set up to develop basic passport resources that can be given to deaf athletes from club level. And then it could be asked questions as simple as what's your preferred communication methods, what things do you need talking about, things that they would require perhaps if they were in a sports hall, they would need extra lighting, etc. So just really what the young person would require to develop through the stages of sport to help build their confidence, and then eventually that passport wouldn't be required because they would be confident enough to know what they would need to ensure that they can fully participate within sport. The important thing for being active is linked to well-being and mental health. If you're active, your mental health and your well-being is paramount, but if you're not, then it can have a detrimental effect. But it also allows you to connect with people that you may perhaps not have connected with. So it's really important that people are active. People that are deaf and people who have hearing loss, that community can certainly offer exactly the same as hearing people. The only difference is they can't hear. They have the physical ability and the aptitude to be competitive, and we can do anything. So for the clubs and at club level, they need to be able to see that deaf and hard of hearing people and people with hearing loss can do it and can be involved. The only difference is they can't hear, and they need to have adaptations to that.